We're going to load up the camera by holding down the shutter button for a couple seconds. It comes up quite quickly. We're in camcorder mode at the moment because that's the last thing we used. Easy enough to start a video. Just press down the button, start recording. Right now we're recording in VGA resolution, 640 by 480 pixels, but you can also record in lower resolutions like QVGA. If we go into the gallery, we should be able to watch that video.
We're recording. Right now we're recording in VGA resolution, 640 by 480 pixels.
We'll switch over to camera mode. And there's a fair number of features in this device in terms of the camera. Of course, it's 3.2 megapixel autofocus, so you can set separate macro modes and things like that. A number of different setting screens for setting how, controlling how exposure, white balance, and special effects. And then there, of course, there's also the quality setting. A couple of general settings over here. You can turn on grid guidelines if you like. Focus just by pointing, pressing the shutter button a little bit. Gets focused a little bit slowly, but then press it all the way to take the photo. And there we go. By default, the auto preview is turned off, so you go down here, back into the gallery so as you can look at the photos and the videos. They're all mixed in together. There's a separate photo viewer application as well that organizes things based on date. You can see these are images from March. If we grab this slider down here, can move up to May to watch the current photos from this month. And you can slide through them all. Can even delete some if you like. Delete these two. And just tap on one to view it. Pretty normal looking music player. All the controls you would expect, except touch versions. There are some settings and things you can do with a music file, such as make it a ringtone or whatever. Settings, control background play, special effects, equalizer functions, and such. If we go into the DJ mode, this is really what this device is all about. Now we've got the music playing here, and we have the option of recording what we're going to do, but for now I'm just going to demo some of the functions. This allows you to scratch. There are a bunch of filters as well. Turn on the flanger, so you can hear it a little better. We'll turn up the volume. I'll listen with the other filters, reverb, high and low pass. Tempo change is pretty cool. Notice it changes the speed of the song without really changing the tone. There's one similar one that changes the pitch without changing the speed. You have multiple filters running at one time, and like as I mentioned before, you can record them. You can actually record the entire album this way if you wanted to. Overall, the music player is pretty decent. Organizes tracks the way you would expect. You have by album, artist, playlists, all that kind of thing. Since the device supports really large micro SD cards, you can get a lot of music in a couple thousand tracks easily. There's a number of web-based applications and features on the phone that I can't really show you at this point. Even though this is a quad-band GSM phone, it's definitely been tuned for the European markets and doesn't do all that well on our weak signal areas here where I am in the US. You can see there's Google preloaded, and of course there's a full HTML web browser. We'll try to pull it up, but I'm not making any promises. So, again, pre-production device though, so can't really blame it at this point. But for what it's worth, the Samsung S8300 Ultra Touch also had problems with GSM reception here in the US, so I wouldn't expect this really to get much better. So there you have it. That is the M7600 from Samsung, the Beat DJ, a very cool music-centric device. Interesting form factor, a good feature set, a very nice AMOLED display with really colorful, really bright, quite vivid pictures on it. Autofocus camera is a little bit slow, but also quite nice in general, takes very nice photos. Stereo speakers built in, Bang & Olufsen's amplifier power, so very cool little package. Interesting, we'll have to see whether it does well in the market, whether people are really going to be interested in that DJ functionality or not. I'm not really seeing it, but it is cool to play with nonetheless. So again, that's the Samsung M7600 Beat DJ. I'm Michael Orrell from mobileburn.com.